You're gonna look at your essay and think, okay, this is probably like a really sweet kid, whatever. We're not giving them money. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby. I had the idea for this video because I realized I've won some scholarships for flying, but I haven't really talked about them yet at all, and that's a pretty big deal. If someone was getting free money, I would want them to talk to me about it. So this video, I'm gonna give you 4 really quick tips. Let's make it 5, because there's 5 figures. 5 really quick tips on how to apply for an aviation scholarship and how to get it. I did win 2 scholarships so far. I am a private pilot going on to my instrument, and both of them were under $5,000, but I've won 2 so far, and one of them is a repeating scholarship. So what helped me were these things, and I followed all of these tips. The first thing is you have to find them. So I am a part of a group called the 99s, which is all women pilots and female pilots. Groups like that are specific are really, really important to join as a pilot. Because if you're a minority, if you have a parent that served in the military, if you have a parent that is unemployed, if you are a female, there's certain groups that are very, very specific. And then if you apply, also have scholarships most of the time, 99% of the time, that you can qualify for. First tip is gonna be join these clubs. Join as many as you can. I know that they do normally require a fee of about $50 to $60 for a year for membership. And that's hard when you're getting into it, but just know that that's probably one of the cheapest things you're going to have to pay for as a pilot. So not to discourage you in any way, but other than the student pilot license, which is free, everything in aviation is going to cost you money. So this is worth it because you'll get connections and network, which is super, I can't even stress how important this is. And after you get those networks in and you start being involved a little bit more, you'll hear about scholarships. And then when you apply to scholarships, people will actually know who it is that is applying to it. And this is important, and I'll tell you in a minute. A lot of flight groups on Facebook. I don't really use Facebook, I use Instagram. Go to Facebook and look there, ask around, and go to any airport near where you live. Sit there, sit a little bit longer, it's gonna be okay. Hang out for a couple hours, the full day, talk to people, let them know what you're trying to do. The awesome thing about the aviation community is if they hear that you're a student pilot, right away they're gonna be connecting you to all these other people. Sit at a local airport for 4 hours on their couch. Help almost in a way is gonna come to you. And if you don't have that option, if it's super far away from you, you can definitely call and ask them if they're hiring, ask them if they have any teachers that are looking for students. Second tip, after you join the club, it's not enough to just go there, go to their meetings and stay on the couch and look around and talk about how badly you wanna be a pilot. You have to be really involved in the group, because if you're not involved in some way, if you're not showing up to meetings, when it comes time for the scholarship to be picked, they're gonna draw your name, the decision committee, and they're gonna look at your name and they're not gonna know who you are. If you think about it, would you give a stranger $5,000? Would you give a stranger $2,000? Of course, there's donations and things like that, but you're not gonna give this much money to somebody who wants to be a pilot unless you believe in them in some sort of capacity, or unless you see that they're dedicated. They want to see that you are moving towards it yourself without their money coming in. And that's when they're gonna invest and give you money, when they see that you're motivated and super driven. Third tip is the essay. So I say the essay because I know not everybody is good at writing. I am good at writing and I enjoy writing. And if you're not good at writing, it's time to pour some blood. I think almost all of them are around 500 words, which is about a page. And you wanna write about your story and your love for aviation. Well, that's what you get for filming at an airport, so that'll be loud. You want to do it kind of like a little movie plot. Like, you want it to be interesting. You don't want to just say,
and then I played 2, and then I did this, and then I soloed, and then...
You're gonna look at your essay and think, okay, this is probably like a really sweet kid, whatever. We're not giving them money. Why would we give money? They can't even write a coherent 500 words about how badly they need this $5,000, $2,000, or $500. We're not gonna give them money. Give it to people and tell them not only to look out for typos, but tell them to think, okay, if you were reading this essay, would you want to give me money? Would you spontaneously want to donate a bunch of cold hard cash on my head? Tip number 4, your references matter a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. If you don't have good aviation references, that's perfectly okay. Just pick a boss that you know liked you, pick a coworker, pick someone that you know that you can trust, that will talk about your dedication, your hard work, your passion, commitment, your eye for detail, just things like that that would look good in a pilot. Pick somebody as a reference for you that you know would speak highly of you, and they don't necessarily have to be in aviation. Number 5 is just practicing good things, just having good practices, like turning it in early, making sure that you trust your references, that you proofread your whole entire essay, that there's no mistakes in your logbook. And then if you're not turning in a logbook or anything like that, number 5, the biggest tip is just make sure that everything is a plot. It makes sense. It's kind of like a storyline. It's kind of like a movie of your life, a snapshot in time. That is 6th, the bonus one. Really, you gotta just not give up, because even if you don't win it the first time or the second time or the third time or the fourth time, you have to keep applying, because they're gonna remember your name, and then at that point they're also gonna remember your dedication. If it's the same people on the committee, they're gonna think, dude, this person has been applying for years. Let's just give them money so they'll shut up and go away. I could talk about a billion more tips, but those are the basic 5 that I follow for every scholarship that I apply for. Being experienced with being rejected all the time is a really good life trait to have, because that means you're gonna keep doing something until you get it. And with scholarships, a lot of it happens when you're not really expecting it. Like the scholarship that I applied for, thinking that it was a waste of time, and then I ended up winning it a couple weeks later. You gotta just keep going at it. And if you know any scholarship winners, talk to them and get all their tips and get them to review your essay. And I'm gonna end telling you about the 2 scholarships that I won. So one of them was about $1,500, and it was a totally random scholarship from my brother's university. He sent it to me, and it was for women in transportation, and I am a women in transportation. I almost didn't apply to it because it just seemed sketchy. Like, I didn't even know if I could trust the site. Honestly, I was a little bit scared to put my email in it. I ended up winning it because nobody else really applied to it. So it was a very small pool of applicants that they pulled from. And then the second one that I won, that is the reoccurring one, is a blogging type scholarship. So I mentioned that I like to write, and I obviously make videos. So they want you to write about your experience and what you do when you use the money. I wasn't sure I had as high a chance just because as a lot of more people apply for this one. It's a national scholarship, but I got this one, and I think my YouTube channel actually helped me get that one because they saw that I already had experience. So on top of not giving up for applying, also remember that the longer you go, the more experience you're going to have under your belt. So you're going to have more and more hours, you're going to have more dedication, you're going to have more flying instructors and more people to be able to give you references. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Also down below in the description box of this video is my exclusive email link, which is where I save some goodies for people who want my check ride tips. I wrote down my check ride tips when I took my private pilot check ride in Google Docs. I only share it with people that give me their email. I'm not going to make it public on YouTube or anything like that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all are going to go and apply to all the scholarships right now. See you in my next video. Hope you're doing well. Bye. You done? If you're reading someone's essay or a family member's reading your essay and they don't really understand anything, if you know it's boring, it's boring. They're not going to read it. Of what's going on, that's not a good sign. Like, you think they're not going to read it. Like,